Hello everyone, MessyPlays. Yeah, back at it again. How you doing today? I am playing Alien Isolation. Update map. Where am I going? Okay, is this the airlock? I'm playing Alien Isolation. We're on Sevastopol. Sevastopol is pretty much blown to shit. We're doing another spacewalk. I think we're trying to get on the Torrens. Not too sure of all the names. Yeah, one was the Nisadora. This crap is blown apart. Okay. Okay, where to now? I mean, that's insane. Oh my god. Tons of debris. Looks like that's the same piece of debris going. That's a shame. Or maybe it was just 6 pieces that looked exact. No, there it starts again. They're all the same piece. That's a shame. That's a minor quibble. Okay. Please let this be it. Let her suffering be over. What you called Amanda? No more generators, for God's sake. I think she's suffered enough. I've blown a fuse! I gotta go back inside. Her tenacity to survive is admirable. Wow, they turned me around. They're kind of like, look, you're gonna miss something. You damn fool. Okay, this is... Don't even wait for the doors to open. Let's go. I like it. Eager. Now, I don't think this is legal. Or, you know, health and safety would say something about this. You've got to have platforms during steps. You can't have continuous steps like this anymore. There's got to be, I don't know what you call them, but kind of planes, flat planes. Now what's happening here? What are we doing?
I'm here, Verlaine. There should be 2 priming mechanisms to unlock the manual release. I see them.
You gotta be joking. Just let her. Just jump. Honestly. Just catch me. Oh, this is fancy. Oh my god. The alien is fucking watching me. Have they ever established that aliens can survive in space? Could you die here? Like if you just took it really, really casually slow? I think it's just watching me.
Ripley! Ripley, are you still there?
What have I got to do? I love this. The amount of design they put into this game. You could, you know, multiple art books. Did they just come up with all this kind of stuff, or is any of this legit? Like that. That's so unique. Pulling out like a weird pipe, sliding a section across, pressing a button inside of it. That's, you know, is that on any kind of like nuclear submarine or anything like that? What's she even doing? Is this a self-destruct? I don't know what she's doing. Is this just like a clamping release or something? God. They give you a nice little screw for each one. You could just reuse it, but you know. Excess. Overpackaged. Away then. Show me. mean, it would be impossible. What even happened there? Honestly, I'm a bit confused to what happened. Okay, so Sevastopol is kind of entering the atmosphere of that planet, and I guess. Completely eviscerated. Thankfully, nothing would survive. I'm not sure how well that was established during the game. Was it a gas giant? I don't know what that planet was. I honestly don't. I'm not too sure what happened. I was on a platform.
Up to the bridge.
Then this platform just shot at this spaceship? How does that work? I was just shot into a door? Wouldn't that kill me? What happened? Like, I would have got completely pulverized by that. Who opened the door for me? You know? I'm not buying it. Alright, let's get there. Am I getting out? Okay, prepare yourself. I actually think this is possible to fail as well, which is hilarious. Okay, which way have I went? I think they've put a lot on this map. They've put a lot on this map that doesn't exist. I'm just getting that out the way. You're gonna see why, but I'm just getting that out the way. I'm getting that out the way. There you go. Oh my god. It never ends. God damn, Amanda, I'm so sorry. If anyone deserves a break, it's you. What? Quite an honourable thing to do, though. Kill yourself to ensure the alien dies. And that's Alien Isolation, I suppose. What a horrific ending. It's not like Ripley at all. Ripley gets a kind of closure at the end of every film. She gets release. She goes through hell each time. And that's the cliffhanger. That's the cliffhanger we're left on. I don't know how old this game is now. Maybe 3 years old. But that's sad. Well, it can't be 3 years old, can it? No, it can. Anyway, that's the cliffhanger we're left on. Amanda's blasted into space. She kills the alien. And maybe a ship finds her, maybe it doesn't. Maybe that was a ship, maybe that was a Torrens. It's a really horrific ending, because she just does not get any peace. And if you look at Aliens, you can say, well, we know she survives. Well, you don't really. You can, if you want to headcanon it, you can say Weyland-Yutani just lied. They just lied to Ellen, told her anything, you know. Oh, your daughter died a happy death, she was old. Oh, you know. The truth is, we don't know where she is. She's in a. She could be in an airlock. She could be in a. Oh, he's a programmer. She could be in cryo sleep. Could be in one of our labs. You know, locked away. So disappointing. Well, it's not a disappointing ending. I like the ending, but it's disappointing it was never followed up on. It was a good cliffhanger that will never get resolution because nobody bought this game. It was such a shame. Like Sega did right. They created this. I'm going to call it. It's a masterpiece. You don't even have to be an Alien fan, I think, to appreciate this. The game design, the sound design, the AI, the various enemy design. You've got mercenaries, you've got Weyland-Yutani goons, I guess, maybe, army guys. You've got the alien itself, or multiple aliens. You've got the working Joes, scavengers. There's so much going on in this game. It's so richly detailed. I think when they made it, they were like, look, let's just make a Bioshock. You're going to go to this kind of mini city, and it's kind of like people live there, people have businesses there. There's different departments on different levels, like Seegson have a kind of a robot tech department, and there's the medical facility. There isn't that kind of individuality to each section. Like the medical department didn't have an ongoing storyline with one of the doctors who goes crazy, or little notes you can find. It's a shame that it's really hard to read the backstories during the game, because the alien is an ever-present threat. You really don't have time to actually go through these journals. That's kind of a silly oversight, although to be fair, once you unlock them, you can get them through the main menu. It takes a little bit out of it. Maybe you do want to pause it sometime and go through it. I never wanted to do that. So even that, like, I'm countering my own negatives of this game. I've been really effusively praising of this game during it. I love this game. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of my favorite games released for the PS3. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It may be top 10 if I ever created a list. I'm just gonna get the score out of the way. It's a 10 out of 10. I love this game. It's a fantastic game. The story is compelling and interesting, respectful of the original film. It actually, I don't like using the word kind of mythos and lore, but it respectfully inserts itself into the history of this series, and you can actually think, well, that could take place technically. So much so that I would love to see a sequel where Ellen and Amanda actually do get reunited somehow. It could be Ellen 8 from Alien Resurrection. But I get so invested in her character, what she goes through, that I'm just like, wow, it would be so amazing if she did meet her mother again. That would be fantastic. They could share stories of all the aliens they've ran away from. I had theories on where the second game could go. Maybe I want to make another video on that. I'm not too sure. But it was so devastating that this game really underperformed. There's various theories why. Basically, people got wind that it wasn't really a shooter orientated game. It was more of a passive kind of hiding from the alien game. Colonial Marines came out. There was a lot of controversy around that game. Not only was it completely shit, but it was deceptively shit. Apparently, it released trailers that were not indicative of the main game itself, and people got burnt on that. There was a lot of negative press around it, and when this came out, which I think was relatively close afterwards, maybe about a year, people were like, ooh, is that game, or is that like a sequel to that? Because I'm not interested. And it's devastating. They brought back the original cast. They smartly wrote this game. It's a logical continuation of the first film story. You don't even have to take into account Aliens, Alien 3. This is a spin-off sequel to Alien, especially. And when you read up about this game, and people have theories, well, why is there so many eggs on the ship? And it's like, well, the developer said, look, there was an alien queen, and we decided not to use the alien queen. We could use the alien queen. We know fans would love to see, the large, ugly, terrifying alien, but we knew it would cheapen the game. We did it for the greater good of the game. It's like, wow, these are smart developers. They put a lot of respect into this. I feel like that's the key word to this review, is that there was a lot of respect for the game they were making, the property they were kind of living up to. They wouldn't just throw something in there because they could, you know, throw it in the kitchen sink. Everything they used it because it needed to be there, you know. And they give you like little hints about the Alien Queen. You can hear it screaming at one point, but they knew if we put it in, if you see it, you would expect a boss battle, and then it becomes a shooting game. It becomes a different type of game. So just fantastic. Like, I can't praise them enough. I think it's Creative Assembly that made this, and they've since disbanded the developers and stuff that were involved in this game because it just didn't make enough money. And it's so sad. It's one of them cases where I'd be like, if you kickstart it, I would throw in some money to see a sequel. You don't even have to make it as long. This is a long game. That's one of my negatives. It's a long game. It's hard to justify what sections could be cut because there are certain elements of backtracking, but it's quite a linear game. It's quite a linear experience. So, you know, you could say, well, cut out the Siegson bit where you go through the robotics factory. It's like, well, no, that's actually kind of a cool, different type of scary bit. It's like walking through a wax museum with all these things that can kill you and posed in weird positions, and you're like, are they going to come alive at any time? So that's an idea. That's like an example of a section where you could say, well, get rid of that just to make it shorter. And it's like, well, you know, I feel like the game would lose something if it lost that. So I'm conflicted on that as well. The game was as long as it needed to be. And I definitely feel by the end, you've got such a kind of lethargy, like a sickness. You're just like, I really want to get off the ship. I want the story to end because I feel like she's endured enough. So it really pushes you towards that finale. And like I said, I like the ending, but it's not closure for her. So it's so disappointing to know that this will never be followed up. And they might follow it up in comics or something like that, but it's not the same. You want that game again. So this is my review, basically. I love the game. It's one of my favorites of all time. Alien is one of my favorite films of all time. It's a fantastic film. This is super respectful of that film. It is just a quality experience from top to bottom. Sound design, atmosphere. The graphics are amazing. It runs really well. My computer's quite old. I'm sorry if the videos were laggy or choppy, but I'm doing the best I can. I would hardly recommend you play this game yourself. I would recommend that you play it on hard, because you can play it on, if you're at least competent in games, don't rob yourself the experience of playing it on an easy mode. Play it where you will die, and play it where you will get nervous walking around, because that's how it should be experienced. It should be a semi-horrifying experience where you're anxious and tense, because that is how it's supposed to be experienced. It's like if you were going to go on a roller coaster, you wouldn't take out all the high bits just so you could, feel a bit more secure. You're secure, but that's the thrill, the heights and the speed, the anxiety. I love this game. It's fantastic. 10 out of 10. One of the best of all time. One of the best games ever. So sad that because of IGN and I think GameSpot, they gave it bad reviews. Just a really terrible review. And I'm not just saying this like I disagree, because everyone can have their own opinion. But the reasons for the marking it down, like it's too hard, the AI is too good, it was complete bullshit. That was a terrible review. IGN, I don't use them anymore, actually. Wouldn't even, that's indicative of their writing staff, so I'm not going to bother. Like a 5.9 for this, get out of here. That's terrible. What a disservice. And they said on principle they can't go back and re-adjudicate reviews, so a lot of people read that and didn't buy the game. But anyway, love it. Go and buy it, play it. It's a great game. Goodbye, guys.